Welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech, y'all. Welcome. The
Number one tech morning show in the world, baby. Good morning.
numero uno. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
¿Cuántos años? Hola. Good morning.
Good
Nah,
morning. Good morning, man. We got an episode today. We're looking at the comment section. Operation Tech Takeover is in the building. Pieces and
what's
blessings,
up,
Sharon.
though? What
He
up,
said,
though?
yeah, he said, don't forget to smash the like button, comment, and share.
Go and
Yeah,
hit that. Go and hit that.
go ahead. Yes, man. So glad that we were able to get this show on the road. Oh man, I'm laughing because this has been quite the weekend. We're 1 week away from Memorial Day. For those who are looking to get ready, and as if you know, Memorial Day is the time that says summer is here. So
Man,
if you guys would love to hear your Memorial Day plans in the comment section. The reason I was laughing because last episode, I remember that I wasn't feeling too good, and
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like leaning back in the chair, no pun intended. And my son, who's not feeling good, one of my children, uh,
Mm.
he is now leaning in his bed because he was keeping me up last night. I gave him some medicine, and now and so I just
Now
thought
he knocked out.
when we started the show.
Look, but he don't have a show to be on, though. So that's the difference there.
That's the
He can
difference.
be
That's
knocked
right.
out.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, he could take all the happy drugs that he needs to take to get him better. But me on the other hand, yeah, got pushed through today. But speaking about the today, I would love to talk about the weekend, y'all. So go ahead, let us know how your weekend was in the chat. We're gonna put it up. And like Operation Tech Takeover says, I'm gonna go back to this. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and share, and subscribe, as that does help the channel. In fact, I'm gonna keep this up here for a bit while we talk, so that people are reminded to do so. It don't cost you anything. Go ahead
No, it's
and
free.
like. It's free, actually. Yeah, it's free. It's free to do. So go ahead
Free
and like.
99.
Free 99. Free 99. But bro, let me ask you first. How was your weekend? And then we'll dive into it with the comment with the team and everybody else that comments
Yes,
below.
indeed, man. Man, listen, the weekend for me was like very long and up and down, and uh it was pretty wild, man. So yeah, one of my family members, like my aunt, man, she uh like early Friday morning, man, like 2 a.m. um gang violence, bro. They just came to her home and just kind of shot it up. And yeah, she got hit like almost 8 or 9 times, and so she was in the hospital. She's had a few surgeries. She's doing very well. No vital organs were hit, just all like extremities and stuff. But I didn't realize it was like, well, you hear stories like this a lot, well, sometimes, but it's just wild when it comes knocking at your door. So seeing a lot of family this weekend, a lot of uh, you know, praying and all this stuff, and it's been crazy. It was on the news. Like I didn't realize it was like that big, but I guess because it was like sort of like gang violence type of activity, it's been pretty huge. But anyways, yeah, man, that's kind of been my weekend. Was up there all weekend, um, but doing much better, and looking up for sure. Like everything is looking a lot better. But yeah, it was pretty scary to say the least for a while.
Oh man, I can't even imagine. I know you mentioned to me right
Yeah,
before we started the show, and I was like,
yeah,
bro,
yeah,
there was a code back in the day.
man.
And that code seems to have been gone. You know,
Man, that thing has been gone, man. These YNs, man. She's 71, but a healthy 70. Like a good 71. But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Crazy. They don't care. It used to be, hey, kids and women off limits.
yeah.
Now everybody's fair game. Unfortunately, uh, it's wild. Wild Wild West.
Yeah, man, which is unfortunate. But you mentioned a miracle too. Like nothing major
Yeah,
was
yeah, bro.
damaged.
Yeah, no, none of her like vital organs. Like they fired like I think probably over 30 rounds. It was an AK-47, like you know, assault rifle. Only extremities, so arms, legs. Like she was in the beds, you know. So yeah, but definitely God's angels, bro. Because if you hear the shots, you're
Yeah,
like, man, how did she come out of that? It's crazy.
it's insane. I know Ty Smith is in the comment section as well. So sorry to hear that, Trey. Yeah, it
Yo,
was
appreciate you, Ty.
definitely insane. And some it's good to see you on IG. Got Ansem on IG. Good to see you, Mr. Scrubs.
Yes,
Appreciate you
indeed.
stopping by. But
Great
yeah,
to see.
that's a pretty insane story, man.
Yeah,
And
it's wild.
gonna keep praying for her, your family at this time, because it's tough, man. It's tough, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For
Some things
sure.
keep getting lost for words.
That's a fact, man. This one was kind of one of those for sure. You hear the news story and people around her, the neighbors, they're talking. They're like, this lady does nothing. She's been a great neighbor for years. This is crazy. This stuff doesn't happen on our street, like all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was definitely a huge, huge shock for sure.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, sorry to hear that again. Yeah, yes, listen, y'all. Go ahead and show your support for Trey and his family in the chat. If you have not, go ahead and comment. Feel free to share this conversation with others as well. Um, Hit the like button like we have here before, and we're gonna keep the conversation rolling. But definitely feel free to share your thoughts in the chat for sure. We got a lot going
Yes,
on
indeed.
today.
Whole
Yeah,
lot.
man. Yeah, a whole lot today. And we and we might have
Crime don't stop.
yeah, exactly. And talking about crime, we're about to go into one right now. Google has sent out a warning, and this is something that has affected UK retailers, but it's also something that is occurring right here in our own front door. So we're going to transition over to the segment and I'll let Trey share a bit more about this as well.
Yes, indeed, y'all. Like he said, Google, they issued a cybersecurity alert warning that the same hackers that were responsible for basically some recent stuff. Y'all know we live in the US, so we don't really pay attention to overseas and over the waters and everywhere else because that's just how US people are, right? So that's why we're trying to bring it to you so hey, this stuff starts somewhere. But, anyways, they were warning us. Google said the same people that were recently disruptive in some cyber attacks on major UK retailers are now actively targeting American retailers, and they're coming pretty fast. So here's the story, y'all. Basically, it's like normal uh, when it's hitting the news like this. A big, sophisticated group of hacking, or a hacking group that recently, like, just basically ran through the UK retailers. They now put their sights on the American stores, and they're calling this, or the group is called the Scattered Spiders. Okay, now they're not amateurs. These are the same crew that pulled off the crazy attack against the MGM resorts and the Caesars Entertainment last year. I know y'all remember when we talked about that. This is that same group. All right, Scattered Spiders. They just go around doing these big heists, cyber heists. Okay, but anyways, they're costing these companies millions of dollars in damages, and y'all know, like we told you last time, they getting the ransom payments. That's what they looking for. So here's what happened in the UK. These hackers, basically, they went over the major British retailers and just ran through them. So Marks and Spencers, Harrods, y'all know about Harrods, and Co-op. M&S, they actually had to shut down the online orders for weeks. Y'all know that cost them some money. And so these attacks, they basically involve ransomware. So y'all know the malicious software, it locks up the systems until that ransom is paid. And they also, during that time, steal customers' data and employee data. So they do both sides. They very sophisticated. Now, here's why this matters to you if you are a shopper here in the U.S. Okay, when the hackers actually do their thing, it's not just like a corporate problem on the corporate side. These online shoppers, they can become unavailable. Like your personal information is probably going to get stolen. And also sometimes the in-store payments can be affected. So even if you going in the store and you paying in person, they can snatch up that info too. Like these are top of the top hackers. Like this is what they do for a living. All right. You know, the movies, Oceans, right? Where they doing it in real life, like in person. These are the computer Oceans. All right. The Oceans 25, 26, 27. Like they on that volume. All right. So here's what's being done, or like how they're getting in. And this is what makes these hackers so dangerous. All right. They basically it's called the use of social engineering. So basically they trick the employees into giving them access. This still have y'all know y'all talk. Hey, hit that phishing button on the email when it looks suspicious. They stuff don't look suspicious. All right. They got some real looking stuff. All right. So they trick them into giving them access. They're also experts at SIM swapping. So they getting straight into the phone. They take over the phone numbers and they're able to bypass those like security 2-factor authentications. These are, again, real deal Holyfield type dudes. All right. When it comes to this stuff. So here's what's been done, y'all. The FBI, they've been briefing major retailers, and the National Retail Federation says a lot of stores have been strengthening their defenses. But as one Google security expert said, he said, shields up, U.S. retailers, they're here. So basically, y'all, we're going to see what ends up happening if they're going to, do some crazy stuff here in the U.S. or not. But yeah, anyways, these hackers, they're systematically targeting entire industries, and they're moving from telecom to financial services to retail. And so as they continue to go on, they're getting better with their techniques and with all these new victims. And y'all, like I said, they hitting them big. So anyways, be on the lookout, y'all. Y'all might be seeing those emails roll through about hey, your information might have been taken. Be on the lookout because they're here.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at right when you said it, is because Google security was like, listen, y'all, shields up, like shields up, they're here. But before I do, let's go into the comment section, y'all, and I'm gonna let y'all know we just dropped the link as well. So if you want to call into the show, the link has been dropped. If this is something that you feel strongly about and you're like, listen, I gotta share some stuff, the link has been dropped. We're reacting to this news and we want to hear your thoughts as well. Tech Coach Ross says, I think I reviewed the UK retail stores attack a few weeks ago. Shake my head. Yeah, and now it's making its way across the pond. So that's something that we got to definitely keep a lookout for.
Exactly. Look, that was a few weeks ago. They moving fast. They're trying to they're trying to make sure they can get in and out probably.
And you know what? We had a story. I think there was a story that either I came across or somebody else came across where they are either some information is being even voluntarily given out by employees because there's like, hey, we'll pay you for X, Y, and Z. So you have both sides of the conversation that you're looking at now, where it's like, okay, some employees are getting tricked into it and some employees are getting tricked into it. And so it's one of those things where it's like, man, and I know Operation Tickle talked about this as well. I think he mentioned it here. He said, I have my credit on freeze. I keep it that way until I know I'm going to apply for something.
Same.
Keep it frozen.
Yeah. Don't forget about Innovis, and you got the major three, but hey, there's some other ones back there too. I'm here with him. Sometimes I even forget. I'm like, oh, my bad. You right. It's frozen. Let me unlock that for you. Well, but yeah, it's one of it.
Go ahead.
No, I was just.
Yeah, I'll say the Fed's on the case as well. So this is
Yeah.
obviously gotten national attention, something that people are going to definitely be looking at. And so, listen, what are some things that we can do to keep ourselves safe, per se? Because when it happens to somebody, it's too late. You know what I mean? And in a way,
They're gonna get you.
well, we always joke and we say our information is already out there, but when it's used in such a malicious way, um, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary.
Yep.
I don't know if anybody in the chat has ever dealt with identity theft before. If you have and you feel okay talking about your situation, go ahead and let us know. The link has been dropped. Um, but that is not a fun experience, I could imagine. Not a
Man,
fun
I,
one
I
at
used
all.
yeah, I worked with one of the pharmacists that I worked with. She had experienced it, and before she told me, I always wonder, like, man, she's like over the top with her like information. I mean, like, I know she was getting to the bag, and she was getting a lot of money, but at the same time, I was just like, I don't know, 23, 24, something like that. I'm like, man, she's super protective over her information, like holding on to information. I'm talking about, if you need to pay for something, she got the little rush not for real, but she got the rush card, put the money on the rush card, then swiping. But and I just use rush card because I don't even know if those things are still in circulation. But anyway, um, yeah, she was just super protected. But then come to find out, man, years later, she was saying like she got her identity stolen a
Mm.
long time ago, and it just like it destroyed her life, for for lack of better words. So yeah, when it does happen um, to people, it does change some things in the way they move for sure. When it's your turn, kind
Yeah.
of deal.
Yeah, and I actually recently, I'm gonna go to the comment section because I see some comments coming in. Keep the comments rolling in for sure, y'all. Keep the comments rolling in. But I was thinking about a situation recently with my parents, my mom specifically, how she had a bunch of different stuff that honestly could have probably called spam, well, malware, what would say, on her phone.
Hmm.
But like just the way, like some things that I think we talked about this before. Some things that we probably as a younger generation would be like, I'm not clicking on that. I know what that's about. The older generation may not even realize, and they're falling for stuff. And
Yes.
I think we talked about it before, but one of the things I wanted to share today, because I was thinking about that situation, I was like, why do you have all these? I was like, in my mind, thinking like, why do my mom have all these apps on her phone that that are obviously not real? And
Mm,
so
got it.
there's a lot of like education. I think we talked about it, like probably in the local library, providing education for the older generation to just kind of keep them aware and protect them from situations going on, because they
Yeah.
honestly may not even see it or understand, So
Yeah, it'd be
let's,
looking real to them.
yeah,
You know, I got an
yeah.
aunt, man. She's had to she's had to have a few Facebook pages just because stuff be looking real to her.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Next
Yeah,
thing, next thing you know, they got you.
they got you red-handed. Listen. And let me go to the comment section because Tech Coach Ralph says, "Did y'all hear about the Coinbase cyber attack?" I did hear about it.
Mm, mm,
I did not, I don't know if we
mm.
got did I dive? I don't think I dived too deeply into it at the moment, but I did hear about it. So if you want to share, feel free to hop on and share. We got somebody in the building right now. And then we'll
What
go to
it
the
do?
comments. We'll go to the comment section first. Actually, hold on. I want to bring this person up, but I want to go to the comments real quick because Wave Nerd says seems like an opportunity to create cybersecurity AI agents, systems, etc. So
It,
uh,
it's there.
I believe that's exactly what is going to be happening. You're going to see a lot of, AI agents already on the rise everywhere, but specifically when it comes to cybersecurity, combining those two worlds, cybersecurity and I definitely see that. No issue with that at all. And then last comment before we bring up our guest here, we have Teco Shroud says, I remember when people would go to file their taxes and it would be rejected because someone already filed under their name. I remember that a lot.
God,
Yeah.
dog. I
Hmm.
definitely don't remember that. I didn't know nothing about that. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Though that definitely happened a lot. And with that being said, I'm going to segue into bringing our guest OTTO in the building. What up, brother? Glad you were able to join us and share your thoughts.
Peace and blessings, family. How y'all doing?
What's good?
Doing good, man.
Oh,
Uh,
good, good.
yeah, that's what actually prompted me to do that. I was a victim of identity theft. I was
Mm,
working for the bank, and somebody got in my stuff and got me good too, boy. I mean,
Mm,
it took about 5 6 years, man, for everything to get cleaned up. Thank goodness I was really
yeah.
close with the security, like our cybersecurity guy at the bank. So he like helped me do a lot of stuff and taught me like what all I had to do. But yeah, man, trying to go through and clean that up took about 5 or 6 years and took a long time for them to, you know what I mean, get me my money back and all that stuff. But yeah, I went through and like Trey said, I froze everything. Like he taught me about freezing your credit, stuff like that. So, like Trey said, you have your three main ones that everybody knows about, but then you also have the secondary bureaus, which is where everybody uses to verify more than they necessarily do, like the top three, which is like your LexisNexis, Sage Stream. I think it's Innovis is the other one,
Mm-hmm.
and I think another one, Clarity or Clarify. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, I froze my stuff on everything, and so that's what I kind of do. But yeah, it took a long time, man, to get that straightened out, and yeah, for a long time I was real leery about using like my card and stuff like that because they couldn't tell me necessarily like where it came from. I think what it was, of course, it was back in the day. So I think whenever I went to the shops, back in the day, when you had a card, they put on that little machine and slide and make that carbon copy. And I think that's what it was, man. Somebody got a carbon copy of the card, and they ran it up,
Mm-hmm.
boy. They
I
ran it.
already
Like,
know.
ooh, he got pretty good credit. Go ahead and see what we can get
Uh-huh.
on this one.
So it was a
They hit
credit
me
card,
for a
not a
good
debit
little lick,
card.
but thank goodness I got it back. But right. So, but yeah, man, just wanted to share that with people. Like I said, don't just go off like Trey said, don't think about just the main bureaus. Look at those secondary
Some more.
bureaus and go through and you know what I'm saying, and freeze your stuff on that too. Some good apps to kind of help monitor your stuff. Cloaked is one. It's about 120 for the year, but they literally check everything. They check the dark web for you. I mean, they give you updates all the time. You can make emails through there if you want to sign up for stuff. You don't have to use your own email. It's a pretty good app. And then Delete Me is another good one you can use, and it deletes your digital footprint on the internet as well. So those are two good apps that I use to kind of keep myself somewhat safe. You mean, of course, like Trey said, you're dealing with these top end dudes. Really don't matter what you do. If they want to get you, they're gonna find a way to get you. But
Right. Right.
for the most part, you can have some peace of mind and give yourself some level of protection, where it's not just out in the open and they can just do it quickly. You got to make them work for it.
Yeah. Make them give up. Make them just, hey man, let's go ahead and go to somebody else who ain't got nothing going on. They gonna move around when they
Right.
come to your stuff. Man, appreciate you for coming through with the good credit knowledge for sure,
Yeah.
based on firsthand experience. Because
You got
it's
that
real
right.
life, man. Yeah, she like I said, the lady I worked with, that was her same story, bro. It took her years to get that stuff right, and she was just super, protective around it. And yeah, I mean, I take heed to, I listen to people, man. I'm not above, like, hey, let me go ahead and try and see why somebody's doing what they're doing, so I can try and maybe do something too, because this stuff is real, and you can get got just like them.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Took me a minute to get that stuff together. I mean, because for a long time, like, people want me to get co-signers. I'm like, why? So I'm good. That's what, like, kind of what triggered the stuff was like, I shouldn't have to have no co-signer. I've been taking care
yeah,
of my
I'm
stuff. I've
good.
been taking care of my bills and did that little search, man. Found it out for a long time. It was that way. And then same thing. That's why I didn't get a house until I was later on and, what I'm saying, life. Because it was, like I said, just trying to go through and clear everything up and make sure that everything was back on the up and up, and it didn't look like I had any kind of negative stuff on there, and and I could explain what was going on. So yeah, it took a little minute to get it back straight, but what I'm saying, by the glory, we here now though.
In that thing.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely a lot for sure. And but thank you for sharing that. Cloaked and Delete Me. Those are the two apps you referred to, correct?
Yeah, cloaked and delete me. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So you
listen,
can like
y'all.
with cloak is really dope because you can like before you even sign up for it, like there's a page like when you go to the landing page, they have a part to where like if you want to know if you've been compromised, you can put your phone number in and it'll do like a quick search and see if your phone number has been compromised, and they tell you like you know what I'm saying like what sites that your information's out there, like whether it's been sold to a data mining company and like your information is out there. Like you know, you get all those spam messages about the different credit card offers and all that different stuff and these different things. That just because it's in a data mining shop and they're just shopping your information around to just different things. But it'll tell you like where your number's been compromised at, what number your phone number's been used on. It's pretty dope. Like I said, it gives you a nice little overview before you actually commit to buying one of the plans. But it's a good app though. That's on Cloaked.
Yeah, that one sound good. Sound good to me.
Yeah, it sounds like something that for sure. I mean, we're not affiliated with them or anything, y'all, but this is from OTTO sharing his personal experience, y'all, and what has helped him. So go ahead and check it out for yourself and let us know your thoughts. Let us know what are other ways that you protecting yourself in this space. I heard people even say, I guess for lawsuit purposes, that they would attach whoever they're signing up with within their information to their name. So if it comes up, it would be like, for example, Joseph Walmart Smith. So that way, if something came up that wasn't from Walmart, but the information got leaked, then you go back to Walmart and be like, listen,
Y'all did this.
allegedly you guys let this leak. Give me my change. So I don't know if that's people are doing stuff like that, but Techos Ralph said a couple of different things as well. And then we're probably gonna be moving on to the next segment after this. But he said, this was back in about those numbers back in the day, 2005, 2010. Yeah, people were definitely taking social security numbers and running it up at the IRS and say, "Hey, this is me. I'm claiming stuff. I got how many dependents now?" They they're all doing all that.
Cold as ice.
And yeah, cold as ice. So all these different things people are looking to do right now in regards to that. You can protect yourself by this is also for those on the podcast. Tech Off Ralph says, I think nowadays it's more dangerous to have your info with these companies. You can protect yourself, but these companies can still leak a lot of your data. Yeah, absolutely.
Big facts.
And in the tech community, it's theft of API keys. Wave Nerve, if you don't mind, can you dive into that a little bit more? If you could dive into that a little bit more before we go, that'd be great because I want everybody to get a clarity on understanding what you're saying there. The theft of API keys. Tech Coach Ralph says, "I'm not sure if I'm that thoughtful or that knowledgeable to be a CIA director, but I appreciate the thought." For the podcast viewers, she says, "Joseph for the next CIA director." I think Tech Coach Ralph for the next CIA director. I think think this is right up your alley.
Get it done.
The way you think about it. But yeah, let us know, Wave Nerd, about the API keys. I want to share it with the audience, whether they're following us on YouTube, or Instagram, or later on the podcast. And listen, y'all, if y'all have not, I'm gonna go back to the comment that was dropped earlier from Mr. OTTO. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe, as we are going to be talking about other subjects. But please go ahead and put what you are talking about in the chat. OTTO, appreciate you for stopping by. You can feel well to hang on as long as you like. But probably move on to the next segment, brother.
Of course, my brothers. I appreciate y'all, man.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, now.
Appreciate it, man. So now we're gonna go into another segment, the Tech Wire, while we wait for the Wave Nerd to put down that comment section there. In the comment section, excuse me, about the API keys and other things. But the Tech Wire, if you're not familiar with it, is a segment where we go to our favorite website when it comes to tech events, blacktechglobal.com. This is a premier site for everything that has to do with tech events, mixers, and everything in between, conferences as well. So you definitely want to check it out for yourself. Now, because we have a lot on the docket, I'm going to run through these pretty quick, but I encourage you to go to blacktechglobal.com. That's www.blacktechglobal.com for more, especially after the show, or if you're looking to do anything that we mentioned. But let's hit up a couple of things. We have the May 29th. We have Boston While Black 25, Boston, Massachusetts. it's an event that's $300 for that. It's a conference that you probably want to check out. Basically, if you
Bro,
are,
you know they doing numbers. $300.
yeah, they
Oh,
are
they doing
doing.
numbers in there.
Yeah, and that's just for regular general admission. There's a Friday single day general admission for $175, and then the VIP experience is for about $600. But there's different people from various different industries that are going to be part of this particular event. So you want to check it out for yourself. Again, go to blacktechglobal.com to see the entire docket of who's going to be there and the importance of it for sure. Then we have coming that again, that's from May 29th to the 31st, right? We also have on the 29th Black Tech Connect that's happening in Baltimore, Maryland, with $0 for that event. That is on a Thursday, May 29th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's basically a theme-based curated event, not about job titles or awkward small conversations, but genuine connections and unforgettable moments. So you want to check that out if you're available in Baltimore, Maryland on that day. Then June 4th, we have the Black Tech Week Meetup Mixer in Cincinnati, Ohio. $0 for that. Then all the way over in Dublin, Ireland, we have a 60 pounds for the Black Irish Sisters Network, Audacity 25. So if you're in Ireland, we're going international, y'all. If you're in Ireland, check that out for yourself. Then we have June 7th in Cleveland, Network 216 Tech Hive Mixer. So again, if you're in Cleveland, this event is $0 for this. We have June 8th, Philo, Soul, and Solstice Wellness Meetup in Cleveland, again for $25. Cleveland got a lot of things going on. Then we have June 9th to the 12th, Built North Texas Black Tech Symposium that in Dallas, $125 for this event. And this is an event that's happening for a couple of days, June 9th to the 12th. There's going to be people from various different organizations that will be part of that you want to check into. Investors are going to be there, business owners and leaders. They're going to have a career and nonprofit opportunity expo as well. So if you're looking for anything within that space, go ahead and check it out as well. And listen, to wrap it up, we got one more I'm going to share with you guys before we head on out here, and that's Render. Render ATL is back June 11th to the 13th. So go ahead to Render and check it out for yourself. It's $550 for Render ATL, but you definitely want to check it out.
No, they doing some stuff in there, boy. Golly, what's going on?
Back in the day, they had Shannon Sharp there, Jason Ladolsdorff. He's the founder and CEO of Code TV. There's a few different guests that were there that you would know their names, and so you want to definitely check it out for yourself and see if this is an event that you want to. But Render is a known event in the space, so check it out for yourself. And this is definitely geared towards people in the tech space, UI, UX, it definitely AI, machine learning. They're definitely talking about that. So QA engineers, all those that are really techie out there, you want to check out Render ATL for yourself. And so that is our rundown for today's Tech Wire. Again, your premier source for all upcoming tech events within the community. All right, y'all. Man.
For the 550, they better have Robert F. Smith in there, man. Nah.
They probably do have a couple of things.
But, I know, right?
I know. Yeah. And Ty Smith, if he's still on the line, he definitely is the one to talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
So let me go to the comment section before we continue. Wave Nerd says theft of API keys, hackers steal API keys through emails and passcode change and run up large bills on your key. Yeah, your company not gonna like that. So that's yes. Yes, we've seen some things already or heard some things. Operation Tech Takeover says that $600. How about I just give you $100 and you let me get all the higher level talks? Get into all the higher level talks. Yeah, man. There's ways around it, and maybe one of these days I bring up an event savant in who basically listen, they never pay for anything because of the way they kind of maneuver things. But that's another conversation, probably for a private Discord. Let's see. Then we have OTTO that says they better watch alcohol. He owned them roast. He owned them roast bar going crazy. Oh man, that is hilarious.
Yo.
Oh man. If you know, you know.
Wild boy. You're a wild boy.
You know. I'll just say that. If you know, you know. Skip. If you know, you know. They better watch. Yeah, exactly. If you know, you know. So listen. I would just leave it at that. But if you know, you know. Oh man. But listen, right now, I'm gonna before we even get to this next segment, I'm going to go ahead and drop that link one more time because we're about to dive into another topic that affects a lot of people, right? And one of the reasons that we want to make sure we talk about this because uh, something that we mentioned earlier, we talked about AI agents, and there are some companies that are like,
Yes, we
"Ooh,
did.
this is our opportunity to to really go ahead and really do some things." And so, yeah, let me,
No, that's what's that?
yeah. Let me go ahead and actually, yeah, it was here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna switch gears. We're gonna talk about a specific company, but I'm gonna go talk about mines first. And then we'll kind of get back to that one.
That works. That works.
Yeah, so that way we can kind of dive deep within that particular topic there. But yeah, there are a lot of companies that are basically doing something specific. And what they're basically doing is they're going in and they're looking at their workforce and they're saying, hey, you know what? I don't think we need y'all. I don't think we need you. And we're gonna go ahead and jump on this AI wave and get rid of you, pretty much, and say thank you for your service, but don't let the door hit you with the Lord split you. And so that is exactly what we're seeing right now when it comes to some situations here. But yeah, basically I'm gonna go give an overview and then we're gonna talk about one particular situation, one particular company, basically companies that laid off workers to replace them with AI agents. That's what we're talking about, y'all. That's what we're talking about. And so it's there's some things in the news. We're gonna talk about it in general. But this one, the first one that I'm coming up here is basically there's a couple companies. There's some companies that have success stories or alleged success stories about replacing their actual workforce with AI agents. And there's some companies that are just, let's just say it has not worked out pretty well for them. So, first thing we're going to talk about is some success stories or alleged success stories about companies that are replacing their workforce with AI agents and doing layoffs and trying to replace it. So we have Dukan, which is Indian e-commerce. So any of these people that you know of that I'm bringing up right now or companies, go ahead and let us know in the chat. To wait, before I do that, Ty says we gotta get Trey involved in that Dallas event, and he's like, I know somebody, know somebody, know somebody. So
let's see. Yeah, let's talk. Ty, let's talk, man. Yeah, let's
yeah.
talk.
And last thing before we go into the segment is from Tech Coach Ralph. He says, I think I like my Anthropic API key. I think I linked my Anthropic API key when streaming when I was setting it up, but that's why I always fund it with a low amount. Yeah. Good
On the accident, huh? On the accident, you leaked it.
On the accident that on the alleged part where one actually takes it. But yeah, so there's a company called Dukan, the Indian e-commerce platform. It replaced 90%. Let me say it again: 90% of its customer service staff with an in-house AI chatbot. So the CEO publicly stated that this move to cut customer support costs about 85% to cut customer support cost by 85% and drastically reduce wait times for customers. Dukan's leadership framed that this is a necessary and ultimate positive transformation for the company. So time will tell. If you guys are familiar with any of these stories and you know any updates, let us know in the chat. But we'll see how that turns out. IBM replaced several hundred human resource employees with AI systems, notably automating 94% of routine HR tasks like vacation requests
HR
and pay statements. Ooh. The company redirected the savings to hire more software engineers and sales staff, leading to an overall increase in employment. Let me say that again, because that right there will let you know where you might want to be headed. But it says the company redirected savings to hire more software engineers and sales staff, leading to an overall increase in employment. IBM reported a $3.5 billion productivity improvement over 2 years due to the AI adoption. Wow. So let that sink in for a moment. Then this one is a little interesting because I heard some stuff. So with Klarna, the Swedish fintech company, they announced that its AI could do work of 700 customer service agents. While it primarily affected outsourced roles, Klarna has been vocal about efficiency, costs, and savings from the shift. Now, I hear some things in the news as well. So Klarna's AI rollout delivered efficiency and cost savings, but it also led to some service quality issues. And the company is now balancing automation with human expertise and illustrating the limits of a full AI replacement in the customer-facing roles. So this is something that we definitely talked about before. Now, this was a little bit more famous because of recent news, but Duolingo laid off 10% of its contract workforce as it transitioned to an AI-first company, using AI to handle many tasks previously done by humans. The company claims it is part of a broader commitment to innovation and efficiency, right? So I'm going to skip this one because we're going to talk about this one soon. But Best Buy and Workday, Workday, Salesforce, Dell, Intel, they all try to do this, even EA Sports as well. And so basically with Best Buy, they made significant job cuts in 2023. As soon after they announced a new AI initiative, the company stated the layoffs are part of restructuring to improve customer experience, but there's a limited public information on whether the AI transition has delivered the expected benefits. So keep your eyes out about that. Workday, Salesforce, Dell, Intel, EA, and other companies. These companies have laid off substantial proportion of their group. For example, Workday cut 1,700 jobs. Salesforce cut 1,000. We know that's probably even more. Dell caught 2,500, and Intel about 15,000, all citing a pivot to AI-driven operations. So these are pretty new, so we'll have to see the long-term effects of these. But then there's also some cases, y'all, of things that did not work out. And we're going to go to the comment section after this, so keep it flooded, y'all. Y'all doing great. Keep the comments rolling in. According to a survey, more than half, 55% of business leaders who laid off workers due to AI later admitted they made the wrong decision. This suggests that while AI can bring efficiency, some companies have found that replacing humans too aggressively, the emphasis on the too aggressively part, can lead to unintended negative consequences. And a recent study found that current AI agents are not capable of handling most workplace tasks at high level. The best performing models completed less than a quarter of assigned tasks, often struggling with complex instructions, social interactions, and common sense reasoning. Highlights the risk of over-reliance on AI for roles that require nuanced human judgment of collaboration is what has been shown here. So there's a lot of things there. There's actually some stats that I'm going to go into later on, but I wanted to stop here because we're going to talk about one company in particular back at that segment, but there's a lot going on. Let me go to the comment section before I let Trey share his thoughts. We got Techo Drops that says, in plot twist, he says, and you get no attitude from the AI customer service agents. You do not.
This is facts.
You do not. I've heard some agents, and they just chill. Like, did you do that part again? Try it again. Oh, you didn't work. Try this. Try that. By the time Joe Schmo on the line, and I said Joe Schmo because my name is Joe. He's sucking his teeth. Like, you know what? Listen here. You obviously need to get glasses. Like there'll be some sort of like insult by that time.
Yeah.
So this is
accidentally hanging up.
Yeah, like, oh wait, I can't. I'll be breaking up. Talking to you to the coworker, like, man, I can't believe that call. You got to listen to that call later. All those different things are going on. So listen, the Ty Smith said something very interesting, which is very important. He said, "Who's selling them all that AI software?" That's the question.
That's a fact. It should be us. Yeah, that's us. It should be us.
But they are definitely getting sold. It's a race. It's a lot of people racing to this particular part. It's like those who had the foresight to see it almost a decade ago. Those are the ones, and they can deliver. We're seeing it. Wave Nurse says the race challenge and the bet in Silicon Valley is who will be the first $1 billion one-person startup. The low number is 3 people startup right now because of all. And he said it early, he said it later, so I'm gonna read what he says. But surprised that Best Buy is still open. Techo Charles says,
"Yo, nah, for real."
Oh boy,
I used to work there in the mobile department, man, for years. I loved it, but I hear you. I haven't been in there since. So
I'm laughing because I had a customer experience situation. There were literally 3 people at the cash register working with one person, and me and a brother came, and he looked at me. He's like, "Ain't nobody else working here. Like, where's the
Wow.
manager?" And until I
Hey,
broke up, that she's like, "Oh, I'm right here." She was one of the three, and she's like, "Oh, I'm right here." And then she walked over to the side, and then took care of me, and they took care of that guy. Like, and so I was like, "Oh boy, they might have AI agents for y'all."
I know,
Soon,
right? No, for real.
some humanoid robots taking care of people, because 3 people for one transaction, that don't make
Them old, what's that? Them Tesla bots.
yeah.
They gonna be standing up there.
Yeah, may I take your order? All done. Wave Nerd says AI agents build once and it works. Builds and does research all while you sleep.
Yeah,
Mm,
that's the thing. You know, you mentioned earlier how 50%, I think it was 55% of them regretted switching, or they switched a little bit too early, and that's just right now, right? Like,
yeah,
but companies, they're gonna take those risks, they're gonna take chances, and right now you might have, okay, yeah, it'll run, the agent may run for 5 minutes, then eventually it's 10, then it's 30,
yeah,
hours, and then days of this thing being able to run, run through whatever you have set up. And so it's only a matter of time, right? But at the end of the day, you're gonna have business owners, that's what they do, right? For me, entrepreneurship is spelled RISK. So they're gonna take the risk and see, yeah, hey, we did this cut, it didn't work out, but we're gonna try it again a little bit
yeah,
later down the line. And eventually, here's what's crazy: these jobs are gonna go away, and they're never coming back. like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
when it works, it's never coming back.
So that's why we got this. I think this is really good why we bring these conversations up, even though we're reacting to it, because it lets people think. Okay, if they're not thinking this way, hey, listen, my job right now ain't gonna be there much longer. I need to get on top of this. Ty Smith says it's not us. It's not us
I
who's
know,
selling
right? I
it.
know.
Even though they
That's
don't
why
like us,
I
it's not
said it
us who's
should
selling
be.
it.
It should be.
It definitely should. So that's another thing too. Like how do we get? And I know that Wave Nerd, probably Tech Coach Ralph, has something to say about that as well. But how do we get into this place? They're already strategizing over here. Tech Coach Ralph says selling it to them. Let me see who is selling it to them. And Wave Nerd says Ralph, somebody got to do it. That's right. You have to build agents with human in the loop. So glad he said it. That's something that I said in the show as well. But when it comes to AI agents, especially at this level of the game, obviously we're not dealing with quantum anything quantum yet. Like I don't know if you heard this conversation. There's a depth. I think we talked about this before too, but maybe not. There's a story where these two computers, and I know Tech Coach Ralph probably heard of this story. They were talking, and they felt like the English language was a little bit too below their level, so they started
Simple.
communicating in their own computer language, and then they're like, Skynet, abort, abort, and they turned to unplug them because
Oh
of that.
no.
So definitely having a human in the loop is important for multiple reasons. But for specifically for like customer service, all these different things that we're just kind of discussing, having that human in the loop keeps uh keeps things efficient in a way. So here's the thing, the way I look at it, like Transformers. Like you remember the last Transformers where the protagonist basically kind of became one with the Transformer, and he had this suit and he was fighting and everything like that. He was able to like knock out a couple guys. That's how I think AI and humans work well together, right? Is that having that human in the loop that's now augmented and could do different tasks while the AI does other tasks. But the human is still there so that they'll be like, listen, you're going too, this is what they meant. You're going too out the way. And so that way, I believe that's a great harmony right there, which means you don't have to necessarily fire a whole bunch of people. You can redistribute them and augment them with AI, and that way everybody's happy. But yeah.
Well, somebody getting cut. Somebody getting fired.
Yeah, eventually. But in the meantime, in the meantime, put us someplace else. Who knows? They might provide you an awesome idea like Amazon Prime, which came as an idea from somebody within the company. So
hope they got them royalties. That hey, get that back in.
What is
it?
And
I want
what was it? Intellectual property, right? Intellectual property is
give me a dollar for every Some man, I need some 1% of every customer that signs on to Amazon Prime for life.
I know I would have quit. Put my reservation right in there. They'll take that from me, please. But yeah, because that $99 a year, it adds up. Wave Nerds, Techno Drop says, inspired me to install AI agent workflow building software. A lot of opportunities there. Yeah, that doesn't always have to be at the enterprise level. There's definitely SMB. There's different ways that it can be reworked. I think it's like finding the niche for that AI agent. That's definitely a lot to do with it. And then I heard that they created their own language. Yeah, they created their own language because English was too subpar for them. They were like, this is not an efficient language.
This language is mid.
Yeah, if I can, I'll pull up that video because it was kind of crazy. But yeah, I want to go back to this. This thought, because I'm like, if you could build an AI agent, I'm throwing it to the chat right now. If y'all could build an AI agent, what would you build the AI agent for? Like specifically to solve what problem that you see? Because there's so many different AI agents you could do it. Like you do like a voice AI agent for the customer. You could do. They mentioned chat bots as well. But where do you feel like? And there's also internal AI agents to help the workers work more efficiently, which I like. That's the human in the loop, right? That we talked about as well. So, what kind of AI agent would you build to solve what kind of problem?
Yeah, good question. Good thing to think on this week while you're at the job or while you're out and about and you listening to these people complain about something at the job. You never know. Then you go find the CEO on LinkedIn and be like, yo, I think you're having this problem at your job. I can fix it. I've already fixed it. As a matter of fact, here's a prototype of what I can do, and send it to them. But yeah, I mean, it's at this point, any problem that you're having is probably something that you can kind of fix or see about fixing through one of these avenues.
No, I love it. I love it. And Wave Nerd says something as well. He said that AI agents are the only way for masses of Black people to gain wealth. And so that's a very, very interesting point. This is a very, very interesting time that we're in, and how do we leverage this? How do we leverage this opportunity? Like you mentioned earlier, with the issues that kind of came up with cybersecurity, having AI agents for that's an opportunity. How do we kind of work in this space? He said AI agents that teach toddlers ABC coding.
Man, they're gonna have to. I don't know about that. They're gonna have to be competing with, what is that lady name? Miss Rachel. You better learn that space if you're gonna try and get in there. I don't know about that one, bro.
What if Miss Rachel makes her own AI agents and they start teaching on her behalf and making videos?
Listen, as long as her face is in there, they'll probably do well. Yeah, she just got on Netflix, man. She doing numbers. I don't know. That one it will probably have to be an older kid, is what I'm saying. Like maybe not ABCs, but something for older kids, because I don't know. It takes a lot to keep them the little ones' attention and learning at the same time.
But you're on something, Wave Third. Maybe AI agent tutors. That help them get right for SAT. If they're still doing SATs. And other sort of like specialized
there things. You go. Yeah, a little higher up. And then here's the thing about that: you can either do, I don't know, you can do it as a month, monthly service or one time. Either way, the idea around that is you now have the PhD in every industry, every space at this point. That's AI, right? AI is whatever you can think of as the that has the most information, or the highest level. That's AI in that space. So I mean, yeah, you can break it down. I think that would probably be a better side for sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to go to a couple comments here, but Tech Coach Ross says, I'm gathering data to help build out my content creation workflow. He says, I went from 25 minutes per video just to set up the right metadata to about 7 minutes now. Next up, looking for 2 to 3 minutes per minute. Yeah, that's so true. I think we talked about. Yeah, go ahead.
Then, bro, all you have to do from there, document it, and then scrape all these emails from all these YouTube profiles of people who are doing somewhat good, and send it over to them with a price tag on it. It's a wrap.
Like, I want your. We see Teco Rob says, I retired early, brothers. He's like, I created a business that's running by itself.
Yes, indeed. Throw that monthly reoccurring on there and watch it roll in.
Watch it roll in. Yeah. Bada bing, bada boom. Oh, this is a good point. This is like a bread business. Is there only one bread company in the store? No, you got a ton of different brands of bread. You got Publix.
That's fine.
Yeah. There's so many different types of bread in the bread store.
That's why it's important, to, if you have an idea or like, hey, you're good in a space, still try and do it, because there are people out there who, hey, you know what? I rock with this company because I like the people who are behind it, or I rock with this company because of the colors that they chose. Like, why someone chooses a brand and all this is like, you don't know, right? Mm-hmm. Until you ask them, but there's all different reasons. So the ultimate thing is to get it out there. Don't be scared to put it out there, because you see a lot of other companies, or you see 3 or 4 other companies still do it, because there are people who would choose yours because of who you are, or like I said, the colors you chose, it's so many different elements on why someone chooses. The psychological side, just do it, is all I'm saying. Do it.
Just do it. Yes, sir. And then Teco says you could also train your own LLM based on the type of data you need for tutoring, and customizable. I think if someone like yourself who's a coach, like that'll be right. That'll be pretty much right up the alley. Trey, he's like, Trey. He's like, I'm making me think now. AI agents can be built as avatars of cartoons or any face you want. Exactly. So it could be more attractive visually to whoever you're working for. And the business, once you have a product, it's all about marketing. So listen, y'all, it seems like Wave Nerd, Teco Rob, you might need to come together on this. What's up, Prince? Prince, good morning. All connected from Nigeria, Caliber City, Africa. Appreciate you, man, on IG. Thank you.
What's happening?
Prince, thank you for stopping by the show. Definitely appreciate y'all. And listen, we are pretty much at the end of the show. We'll save that segment for the individual company later on for next week. But we have a brown box special that we can throw your way. A really quick one that we have here, courtesy of Reddit, by the way. First of all, thank you all for rocking with us. Go ahead, like, comment, and if you have not subscribed, we're at $7.99. Who's gonna be number 800? So subscribe to get us to that 800 mark, or closer to it if we're not there yet. But listen, this is a Reddit that came in. It says, I was working at a call center on a Canadian Tire campaign, and I worked alongside this dude. Let's call him Javi, or not Javi. I know somebody named Javi, so let's not do that. Let's call him Ben, and I know somebody named Ben too. So Ben is not you. Who are friends with one of my friends at the call center. He had only been working there for a few weeks, and I've been there for a few months. Actually enjoyed the job and did well. But Ben received another job offer and decided to quit the call center the next day. Not only did he quit, he terrified the entire sales floor, slandered customers on calls all day, essentially backing the company he worked for and its customers, which is definitely illegal, and simultaneously got me fired. So then the day Ben quit, after our lunch break, he dressed up in a gorilla costume, jumped on a few desks, and screamed, "This job is driving me bananas." He wasn't even there,
bro.
And proceeded to lumber out the building like a gorilla. People were terrified. They thought he was a terrorist. No one could tell who was in the costume. Unfortunately, I was privy to his brilliant gorilla scheme, and in an attempt to calm everyone down, I said, "Don't worry, everyone, it was just Ben quitting." In hindsight, I probably should have kept my mouth shut, because I got fired immediately after for being a liability to security. for having known Ben was going to do that. He told multiple people, not just me. So yeah, I got fired because of some, stupidness. Pretty good story for the grandkids, he says, though.
Man, yeah. Like, even if you, I don't know. That's crazy. You, why would you say something? Or why would you not say something? So it's like both sides. Why would you say something? And why would you not say something? I don't know. I probably would have been like, man, what time you trying to do that mess? I would have left. Yeah, you know what? I need to go to the car real quick. Ain't
nobody got time for that.
No, that's crazy though.
Got time for that. No, that's not Ty Smith. He said put bananas. Yeah, no. This is listen, these stories.
I would have fired him too, though. I ain't gonna even cap. Man, you knew this stuff was gonna happen. I could have shot this man. Like, what's going on?
What part of the world you are? Yep. He's like, oh, terrorist.
Depending on where you at. Yeah, depending on where you at. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, cook, man. Society, man. Golly.
Yeah, man. And you know what? I'm gonna check out that video. That might be something we talk about next week, OTTO. So definitely, thanks for sharing that with us, and we'll definitely check it out. But listen, y'all, today that is a wrap for us. We appreciate you hanging with us as well. Thank you, Prince, on IG. Thank you, everybody that has been rocking with us on this episode. And Wave Nerd, Tech Coach Ralph, just don't forget the little people when you become a billionaire with that product. So I just want to say thank y'all again for rocking with us. Facts. Until next time, this is Talk That Tech, the
#1 tech morning show in the world, baby. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace and elbow grease.